Evening, guys. Uh, Welcome to CDR Tier 1 this evening, which is the season finale of Season 5. Yeah, it's down to the wire for the championship battle. One of four people are in contention to win it. Let's take a quick look at the driver standings while we wait for everybody to filter out the pits. Currently, we've got Sociopath leading on 182 points, followed by Cameron Poulter on 165, Scotty on 164, and Dangle, who is unfortunately not racing today, is on 158, followed by Bruges closely on 152. So everyone down to essentially Dan could have won it if he was racing, but he isn't. So everyone in the top three is in contention to win. Obviously, Cameron Poulter has got to outscore Sociopath by a minimum of 16 points today. So that's quite the ask, but it could happen, you never know. If anyone is watching along at home, just let me know what the weather forecast is going to be. It would be great if you could do that. I forgot to put myself in a pie. Hey guys, sorry about that. I just had to go and do something quickly. I just forgot to start a party with Teabag just in case he is going to be joining us later on. So no rain, that's good news. So it's just going to be 36 laps of Brazil. Hopefully it's a decent race and the qualifying performances are somewhat similar. And I'm trying to just work out who is the first man out on track. It is actually Cameron Poulter in his Ferrari. So let's see what sort of lap times he will be doing. Sorry about the lack of enthusiasm in this, guys. Just trying to get this lobby up and running was stressful, as I have none of you as friends. So, as he comes through the middle sector, Sociopath does a 1 minute 9.2 to start with, and Cameron Poulter going almost a second quicker. The championship rivals going at it from the very start. As that's Albie with an invalid lap. LF Racing is on his way out with Scotty going through the center S's. Nope, middle sector. Wrong part of the track completely by me. Comes towards the penultimate corner, which is just a tricky uphill left-hander. Curb on the inside will easily catch you out and over-rotate the car. Takes as much of the pit lane as he dares and puts himself up in between Scotty and sorry, in between Sociopath and Cameron. Andy Boy is snuck in with a 108.6. Chris, I don't think you can park there. JJ Trimmer's done a 1 minute 9.6 on the set of medium, so that's not a terrible time. Also has done a 1 minute 9.9 on the set of softs. Harry is on his way out of the pits. Stingray, whenever Arso's racing, does he just tend to pass on where he's, like, pass on the screen so then you know exactly where he's racing? Let's see what LF Racing can do through this middle section of the race. Also going for a long smoke break. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me as these guys are rapid as Chris has retired. I don't think fourth was the gear he needed through that corner in particular, but he went with it. Bogged him down a little bit. Did have a decent middle sector though. So again, just being proven wrong, as per usual. And he puts himself up into P4. As Jehu is currently on his way around the final couple of corners after purple in the middle. Puts himself up into P5, so the times are starting to come through. They all seem fairly consistent at this moment in time. Hey, I'm okay with you two keeping me company throughout qualifying because it's going to be a long, like 40 minutes for me. I'm by myself again this evening, so it's not particularly. Oh! Dunkster, that is not the track. As it looks like Bolts has done a fuel burner, which a few of them might, because it is that type of track where you do go out with an excess lap of fuel. So you can do a fuel burner lap, then turn your ERS on for the second flying lap. We'll see now, see how much he's under. He's sector one time. Half a second under to start this lap with. Purple's the first sector. Straight into the middle sector. Takes a lot of entrance to go through the middle part. Fairly slow through the middle sector though. It just doesn't seem to want to rotate the car, and then over rotates it as soon as he gets on the accelerator. But again, Purple's middle sector. This lap does not seem to be the cleanest that we've seen so far, but somehow seems to be piecing it together. Finds 1.3 seconds and puts himself up into P7. Then invalidates the next lap. Where's Social going to go? Needing to up into third. So beats League of Island Colin, who is in the wrong car today because also decided to take the wrong car. As that Scotty that looks kind of beached. He's stuck. There we go. He got out of it. Well done, Scott. Jehu has also decided to retire, so not sure what happened to him. But Brazil's quite a short track, if I'm being honest. There is not really a great deal to talk about during the actual qualifying sessions, as we're at the season finale. The leading trio have already been announced, the points difference between them. League of Ireland Calendar's just retired, as Bruges is just coming around the final couple of corners, which really aren't corners, they're just hints. Scotty is also retired from the session until 7th, thinking he should stay. Bruges has just got himself into 8th. Alright, who else has not said of that? Doxter. We're right on board for the rest of that with Doxter. See where we're up to. Gets a little bit squirrely out the final couple of corners, a lot out of the penultimate corner. Heads down towards the main straight. Puts himself up into P3. That's a solid lap from him. That came from nowhere. So also it's kindly pointed out that 3rd to 6th is currently 0.028 of a second, which is just insanely close. So Robin's had a little bit of a spin. Cynics is invalid. Does he have enough fuel in that car to go again? As Cynics is coming round the middle sector, there is a Mercedes just ahead of him on track. Is that Mercedes or is it Williams? All of the blues look the same, yeah, it's Mercedes. So hopefully that Mercedes is not going to hold him up too much. Trying to find out who it is. It's Balks, that's also on a lap as we speak. So the pair of them are Cameron Poulter does a 108.3, and I dropped my phone, but we won't talk about that. Balks does improve, and so does Cynic. Cynic puts himself up into P10. So at the moment we are losing Jehu, Chris, also, and Robin. As Dan is currently pointing out to Oslo that he is in the wrong car, which has already been pointed out to him a couple of times. Yeah. Also, how do you actually pick the wrong car? Robin is currently just about to start his first flying lap. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate it through the turn S's. Seems to get a nice one through there. Well, turn 4 we go. 17 flat. Seems to be a solid enough first sector time. Cameron Porter is now opted to retire from T1, so that's him up, him safe. I would have seen him go anyway. Let's see what Robin can actually do, shall we? A little bit too late there also, you checked it after the session started. Robin purple in the middle sector, so he is actually improving as the lap goes on. As Robin has put himself up into the top 4, so it's a cracking lap by him. Final minute or so of quali, so this will be the final out laps that we see. As we see a couple more people opt to retire, so Doctor is retired, Scott is retired, Jehu is retired, and Chris has all retired. Chris being the man that's on the cusp of being eliminated. With Harry just needing to improve by half a second. Dan is working today, Steve, as LF Racing has just dropped it again. See what Jade King can do on his, I'm presuming his second run on this set of tyres to try and improve his lap time. A little bit slower through the first sector there, but manages to just about keep it on track. He's given it all, he's all through the first couple of sectors. Big Boy has retired from the session after just entering and not being able to get on an out lap. So unfortunate for him, but hopefully we'll be able to get his setup in place for the start of the race. As Gator in Purple's middle sector, it does seem like that is the sector that is benefiting most people with the highest downforce, which does make sense as it is the slowest sector on the track. He opts to pit knowing that he's now safe because Harry and also behind also needs a magic lap from somewhere in order to improve and get out of the bottom 5. Also is actually open his lap time as we speak, and it looks like he will beat Harry's lap. Nope, Harry is also off his lap time, so Otto will be across the line first. He does beat Harry, but then Harry's just about to come across the line and obliterate him. Harry puts himself up into P14, so that eliminates Jehu, Chris, Otto, and Big Boy. As we've got nobody else on a lap as we speak. Just waiting on the qualifying session to end. So it's just the Abbey being wheeled into the pits for it to end. There we go, Q1 is officially ended. So, just for confirmation, Cameron Porter is setting the pace, followed by Andy and Duxter. And then we are losing Jehu, Chris, Osso, and Big Boy from the session. So the top 15 in Q2 will be a top 14. Significant gaps at the front already, over 3 attempts between Andy and Cameron. Social Path down in P6 and Scotty down in P10. So the championship protagonists are separated by almost 7.5 tenths or 3/4 of a second. We've got 30 seconds until the session starts up again. There we go. Everybody's loaded in, so everybody will be here. Let's see what tyres everybody's got on, shall we? As the medium tyre is now available to use during any session of qualifying. Eagle Vale and Colin obviously using that during Q1. As we're just waiting to see on who will be the first man out on track. That looks like it is a McLaren, the McLaren of Sociopath. Sorry guys, I was just responding to a message. Sociopath is the first one to go through the Center S's in Q2. Hopefully looking to find a little bit more pace than what he had in Q1 as he opens his DRS as he heads down towards turn 4. Gets a nice run through the apex there, keeps it tight through 5. Into 6 and 7. Also braking zone for 8. Sorry, as we do actually see a couple guys putting on the medium compound, Weatherman Harry being one, Andy Boyd being the other, as Sociopath does a 1 minute 8.5 to start with, Harry on his way out of the pits. As it appears that everybody is actually on the way out or out of the pits. Karen Porter does a 108.4 to start with. Duxter immediately beating that with a 108.3, so this is the point of quali where the gloves do come off. Is Andy just using his mediums at the moment in order to get a banker lap in? And then use the softs a little bit later on. Jay, we've all been there, mate. We've all crashed on an in-lap at some point in our lives. More often than I get to talk about, I have done that. Cameron Porter goes into pits with his DRS wide open. Sorry guys, yeah, Cameron, nobody likes a showboater. Unless it's Ronaldinho, then everybody loves him, but unfortunately you're not Ronaldinho. As every League of Ireland Colin is on his outlap, just about to finish it. Takes a wider line through the final corner. Tight run through the center S's. Be careful to not to invalidate it here. Does purple the first sector, so can he keep that up for the rest of the lap? Obviously not in his usual car, so it might sound a little bit different to him. Yeah, Colin, I know that you gain more speed by taking that wider line, but you also cost yourself the extra half a tenth to a tenth than what you would if you take the narrow line, which I think he's about to do now. So to start your lap, it's fine, but anything beyond that, and he does a 1 minute 8.1, so yeah, that's one way of getting it sorted. I'm out here talking like I could match these times, when in reality I can't. What has Bruges got coming through the final couple of corners? 52.149 through the middle sector. Not quite sure how that pace relates to everybody in and around him, but I think we're going to be able to see about a 1.9 lap from him. Oh, come on. That was very, very close. Yeah, I think at the moment League of Ireland Colin is 2 tenths off of my TT time. If anyone, like Colin, while I've got you actually, do you mind just flicking into the tier 2 stream and see how Blue's getting on? And let me know if you've got to be home to give me a hand during the race. It would be appreciated. Harry's still determined to get a lap in on those mediums. He does get a lap in and does a 1 minute 9.9 on them. He's got a common voice and he's doing alright. I've never heard the man talk, so I wouldn't know. And at least one of us has got the voice for comms. The other one's got a voice which will be mute, and that is me. See what Cameron Porter can do, as this is probably a fresh bet. Not that much quicker through sector 1, only 6 thousandths of a second under his personal best, but it does purple the first sector. LF Racing is retired from the session, thinking that he's safe there in P7. There is a few cars ahead of Cameron though, hopefully they decide to move out of his way. Okay, now Cameron's just showing off. See if we can see the CRS open. Yep. Hugs as much of the pit wall as he dares. There's a 108 flat. Duxters. And where's Scotty? Yeah, it's disgusting that he's that quick with full TT. Which is just goes to show that last season he showed a ton of pace, so he got moved up to tier 1 during pre-season testing, and has taken it in stride and kind of just gone from finishing it, with all due respect, in the midfield of tier 2 in kind of in no man's land to being at the sharp end of tier 1 in the space of next to no time. Just picked up the game a lot quicker than everybody else. So Scotty is actually on a decent lap. This looks like it could get him inside the top 3, which is ideally where he needs to be with everybody else about to come through and improve. Puts himself P4. Harry is now on an outlap on a set of stuff. Cynic looking at improving. Cynic is just a smidge over his personal best, but he might have had a rough middle sector somewhere. Just drops the gear and keeps it relatively pinned through that middle sector. Well, through that 6-7 sequence. A little bit hesitant on the accelerate coming out of there and coming down the hill. Purple middle, which only just flashed up, it didn't stay purple, so as somebody just come through immediately behind him to snatch that sector time. Nope. He only improves up to P11, so JJ trim. Scotty is retired, Doctor is retired, Bolt is still sat in the pits, Andy is in the pits, Albie is taking the scenic route to let one of the Mercedes through. Social Socho knowing that all he's really got to do today is finish in the points. And that race is, and the championship is his. Is it Socho that's leading the championship? Yeah. So Socho knows that all he's got to do is finish. And it's his, so he does improve, but only marginally. Albie just started his last flyer. Bruges is just getting out of his way. Andy's still sat in the pits. Jade Trim is now down into P11 and in the pit, so it's just Cynics and Robin that can pit him. Harry's back in the pits. Robin is up half a second, so need to beat that 1 minute 8.7 of LF Racing in order to progress into the next round. And does, puts himself into third. That's a cracking lap. So Socho feeling the pressure a little bit. And I think that Cynic's done. I don't think he's going to have enough. Right, Cameron. There's no need to flex on us that hard. So it looks like we are going to be losing LF Racing, Jade Trim, Cynics, and Weatherman Harry. As we just see Bruges and Social Path trundle into the pits instead of taking the flag. So just to confirm, our top 10 in Q3 will be Cameron Poulter, LOI, Colin, Robin, Bolts, Scotty, Albie, Duxter, Andy, Bruges, and Sociopath. Losing LF Racing, Jade Trim, Cynics, and Harry. With Harry setting a time that was 1.9 off the pace on that set of mediums, with everybody else being under 8 tenths behind. Very close in the bottom 4. Well, even the top 10 separated by less than half a second. So, and the top 2 separated by less than a tenth. That's a cracking set of quality times. We got a couple of cars out on track as we speak. Let's see who the first match is going to be. I think it might be Bolts, actually. Does look like it is going to be Bolts, as he is just coming around the final couple of corners. So let's ride on board with him for the first lap of quality and see what he can do. Nice tidy line through one, doesn't run too deep, does invalidate at turn 2 though. Hopefully this is the session where Social Power takes the gloves off and decides to come out to play. Does manage to get through sector 1 without invalidating anywhere. Social Path coming around the final corner with cuts a lot of the pit lane. Does a 108.2 to get things started. Cameron Potter already in the 107s. So that will be a fresh set. I think he's used a fresh set. He's got to be using a fresh set of tyres for each quali run. Which you really can't blame him for. Especially if he managed to save them in Q2. Which by the sounds of it, he did manage to do. So Albie is retired. So Collins on an out lap, Box is invalid, Bruges is valid but also 3 seconds down. Dugster down, Andy in the pits, Socho in the pits, Scotty a second down, so it's this man and League of Ireland Colin to come. Box does purple first sector, which is the purple first sector, it's necessarily just a clean run through the center S's, especially the first part of the center S's. As long as you get 1 and 2 right, the rest will follow very easily through. Well, as long as you get turn 1 right in the center S's, the rest follows quite easily, as it just kind of drops away from you. It is a great corner to go through if you can nail it. A little bit slower through sector 2, but it is only marginal. As long as he's in and around that 1 minute 8.1 marker to begin with. 8.3. As Colin is up into P2 on the 1 minute 8 flat, so nice balancing out from him, puts himself directly between Scotty and Cameron Poulter. Bulks is now on another lap, but moving very slowly. That's because he's out of fuel. As Andy Boy's just about to start a run. Purple's the first sector, almost a 10.5 under. Just about keeps it on the track through 4. Kink at 5. Brakes at the 50-meter board for 6. Round 7. On the brakes into 8. Up a gear and then down a gear immediately into 9. And then into this hairpin right. You drop down the hill for 12. Hit the brakes and turn in for 13. And then it's straight back up around the hill, sweeping left the entire way. What's this time going to be? Is it going to be in 1 minute 7s? 1 minute 7 point. Ooh. So Andy Boy's also come to play. So let's see who is actually the next man across the line. So Albie will be definitely starting P10 because everybody in front of him has set a time. So I think it's just Duxter, the only man that's out on track. It is, so free track to himself. Almost 4 attempts, so this is putting him in contention to go and play with the big boys at the front end. So up with Cameron Poulter, Andy Boy and Legal Island Colin. This will be a solid qualifying session from him. And does puts himself into P2. As Andy Boy says that he was born and raised in Tier 3. Part of me just wanted to reference the Royal Navy advert there. I don't know why. As we've got a minute and a bit left, so everybody that is out now, it's of utmost importance. So Cameron coming round the centre S's. Is he actually going to be able to improve on this lap time that he's already set? Did he manage to reserve anything? Or did he put it all into that lap time just to be marginally ahead of Doxter? This is not fair. Doxter's opted to retire knowing that so Cameron doesn't actually need to complete this lap by the looks of it. Okay, that's just pure fill. 107.7. As Andy Boy has invalidated a quarter of a second over his lap time. So it's just League of Ireland Colin left that could potentially dethrone. Oh, I know he has set his time. He's done a 1 minute 7.28. So Sociopath has managed to pull something out of the bag and put himself into P6. Scotty just about to cross the line, and then it will be Bolts as the last man across it. I'm not sure who Gonzo gameplay is, but whatever that means. Yeah. So just to clarify, we have Cameron Porter taking pole by 0.022 second of a second. Duxter coming in P3, Andy Boy rounding out the second row. Robin and Sociopath on the third row, Scotty Bolks on the fourth row, then Bruges and Albie rounding out the top 10. With less than 7 attempts between P1 and P9. Albie obviously not able to set a time. And onto the race we go. Yeah, so we've got 36 laps of Brazil up ahead of us. Should be dry conditions and hopefully not too many safety cars, so then we're not stuck behind them for forever. It's only like a 2 minute something lap, well, a minute 40 lap time in Brazil under a safety car, but it just seems like much longer when you sat here trying to commentate over not a great deal under a safety car, so hopefully we don't see too many of them. Anybody watching from home got any predictions as to who's going to finish where, or who is going to be the protagonist in this race? I'd like to see what you guys think, but yeah. Normally it would be me that would be readying up, but as I'm commentating and also hosting at the same time, I kind of can't do that, so I do apologize for the guys that are actually just sat there kind of waiting for me. There's no other admins around in Tier 1 tonight, so nobody can tell them to ready up, so they just kind of had to take it by themselves. So the one stop saying pit on lap 18. Two stop will be a little bit earlier. So let's see what tires everybody's starting on, shall we? So Cameron Poulter having to outscore Social Pass by, I think it was 18 points, if my memory serves me correctly. Let's take a look just to make sure that we get this right. So yeah, currently 17 points behind. So let's see if my brain decides it wants to math today. So if Cameron Poulter wins, Social Path has to finish P9 or lower. Or if Cameron Poulter wins and takes the fastest lap, then Social Path can finish P8 or lower. That is the standing. That is where it stands. Then if you incorporate Scotty into this scenario, it gets a whole lot more complicated. So Scott, I'm not ignoring you, mate. I'm just trying to make it easier on myself when it comes to maths, because it doesn't want to happen today. But while we wait for everybody to form up, what I'm going to do is grab myself another drink. As the lights go out, hopefully we won't see any carnage into turn one. Oh, that was the delayed start. Cameron Poulter gets a decent start though. Colin not too far behind. Ugh. Social Path is currently in the wars. There's just cars everywhere, but yet everybody seems to have made it through turn 1, 2 and 3 very easily. So congratulations guys, that's not a sarcastic one either, that's a genuine congratulations. So the two stop is medium, medium, hard. One stop, medium, hard. So Social Path and Scotty both swapping places. Ooh. This is a great camera angle for stuff like this. That is extremely close. Scotty deciding to do the brave thing there and just back out. But does seem to be running a lot less downforce. Are we going to see a lunge on the brakes at the moment? I don't think we are. Nope. Social Path just getting a great run through turn 1 and 2. As Colin and Cameron are going at it. Oh. Albie's already picked up a 3-second penalty. After the first lap, let's see who the biggest winner was. That will be Big Boy up 3 places. Harry stayed where he was. Jehu stayed where... Jehu's lost a place. Also has somehow managed to stay exactly where he was. Chris is down to. And Sahib, that has made his CDR debut today. 30, well, 27 seconds off the pace already, so he's almost half a lap down. So we'll just let him do his thing and move on. The Stingray's back, let's go Otto. Otto in P17, only 9 seconds behind the leader as we speak. So, but we are only 3 laps in. So if he times that by 12, he'll be 90 something seconds down. Which in Brazil speak, that is a lap and a half. Like, he will be at this point of the track as the leader is crossing the start-finish line. A lap ahead. Oh, this is getting close between Harry and Jay Trim. Yeah, sounds like Otto. Everybody loves Otto though. I don't understand how anybody can not like Otto. Great guy. Oh, Harry, why did you go on the inside? Not quite sure what happened there. Yeah, also overtook the car that went off track. As Cameron has fallen behind. Colin and struggling to make any inroads into that lead now. But he is, I think he is on the harder tyre. He is, so Colin will have the pace advantage to begin with. But then in a few laps, when those mediums start to wear out, as Andy Boy comes storming in with the fastest lap of the race so far. Well done him, as Harry and Big Boy are just changing places. That was done before the braking zone of turn 1, so congratulations. Dan, don't you have work to be doing? That's Jay Trim needing a new front wing. Sahib has somehow managed to lose even more time. Since I last rode on board with him, he's lost about a further 20 seconds. He's going to be lapped very, very soon. Behind there, and he just goes to place of employment, not work. So Sahib has already pitted twice. I'm not quite understanding the logic behind that, but that's Albie out of the race. That looks like he's dropped it in the final corner. And then Jay Trim and Cole a little bit too far back off the pace. No safety car. So, well done, Coldies. So we'll jump on board with... Yeah, Stingray, that's the only way you can describe it. It's just, if something is not how it should be, then just blame Coldies because, well, Coldies. Yeah, so you've got a fair point. It is only the fastest bit of the track. Well, one of the fastest bits of the track. It's where Max had his little spin in 2017, I want to say. You know, when it was torrential around here. And he managed to keep it out of the barriers as a literal child. There we go. I was close to my year. In fairness, I spent most of that year intoxicated, so to be able to remember that race in the beginning is A miracle. As Andy Boy has made it past Cameron. As Duxter's crashed. How has Duxter managed to crash there? That is on the exit of 4. By the looks of it. As Chris just gets a time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. I don't personally know on how long the mediums and hards are supposed to last for around here. I kind of just take it on the chin and take what the game suggests as gospel and then try and overreach and fail miserably and lose a grip and eat a barrier. So anybody watching at home, I know the game said that the stint was between like lap 12 and 18 depending what tire that you were on. Obviously the safety car does help. So what lap would we be looking at for a potential first round of pit stops? The hard runners, oh, it was only a VSC. Yeah, Stingray we do. And Dan, yeah, it's one of those that, is it a stroke of genius or is it, I don't want to say dumb, or is it just slightly a little bit too adventurous? That's because it looked like a full safety car. So, oh, that's led him straight through. Honestly, Stingray, what we do with Osso is we just kind of leave him off to do his own thing and just hope that he doesn't hurt anyone else. It's about time you did the same thing, bud. You haven't given him the padded pulpit like we have. That's fair. Oh, hello. Where did Jay come from? See, Dan, even if the Dutch can pronounce it properly, so can you. It's football, not soccer. Tag the league and tell Dan that. uh, I like you, Stingray. You're a great guy. We're just running on board with this little battle between Social Path and the cars ahead. As he really does close up through the center S's. He has got a hobby, Dan. It's called abusing you. But yeah, the 3 seconds Andy got is kind of gonna... we don't know at this stage because he might be one of those guys that has set his car up for a harder tyre. Scotty doing well to manage the DRS just to get within DRS range. It does look like he's letting these two ahead of him squabble a little bit to bring him back into it, but he also does have Social Path just behind. Yeah, LFR, DNF, I think that might be retirement in the pits, because it does come up saying one stop. As Andy Boy's still within DRS of Cameron. So the mediums haven't started to fully go off yet. They still do seem to be in a great window. So yeah, if it was turn 2 going into turn 3, I just had a full course safety. We'll see in a sec. Yep, full safety car. So the medium runners should be in now. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Andy Boyd drop into the pits. Oh, Cameron's also opted to pit. So alternate straps going on here, hitting at the same time, different tyres going on. The leaders coming out exactly where they started, so Sahib is going to jump into P15. Yeah, I'd agree there, Dan. The hard runners do tend to get murdered very quickly under the safety car because they're so hard to switch on under the, well, to keep them up to temp in safety car conditions. Then the moment they do get switched on, everybody behind is on softer, well, the faster compound and a fresher set of tyres, so the grip's just there for them and the pace compared to the hards. But Cameron Paul now having to do 21 laps on a set of mediums is not ideal, but he will be sat under the safety car for a couple of laps, so if he can just not overwork those tyres and just put the heat into them in the final couple of corners before the safety car goes in, it shouldn't be too bad for tyre wear. Like, you can see the amount of excessive weaving that Colin's doing just to try and get the heat in those tyres. Well, not excessive, but you know what I mean. Everybody behind weaving around, trying to get some heat in those hards. As Sociopath getting a little bit too close to Jay for my liking. Who hasn't stopped yet? Osso is still yet to stop. Osso is the only man. Osso and Jay are the only men yet to stop. So, yeah, another safety car, the first full one. This does bring Sahib back into this, so he could have a decent drive on his hands, but he's put the mediums back on. I'm presuming that you crashed out if your race is already over because we started quality at very similar times. Just under midway, like under the halfway distance. Only a handful of guys are on the medium. Everybody finishing will score at least a point. Obviously, season finale. I'm happy to announce that CDR will be returning to Season 6 as of provisionally, as it stands, yet to be formally announced. So before you say anything, Dan, just covering all bases here. The 25th of November, so as of 2 weeks today, we will be opening up Season 6 with Round 1. Driver draw to be done on Monday the 21st, and calendar to be released at some point in the medium. And just want to say, while we're under the safety car, congratulations to Blue New Soul, who's actually taken over my usual role of Tier 2 comms this evening for winning the Tier 3 championship, subject to standings being announced. Armin did capture the Tier 2 championship last week, so congratulations to him. And obviously Tier 3, Tier 1 is being settled this evening in the season finale. So all to play for. Safety car will be in the next lap also. Safety car is in this lap. I'm sorry, but my car's still over there. And I couldn't be bothered to bend down and pick my drink up from the floor. Hey, as Lee Colin Island has actually got the race restarted from the front. just to be pressured through turn 1 and 2 by Cameron. As he's all over his gearbox. And yeah, the Ventura have just set off in a league of their own at the moment. Completely left Andy Boy for Josh. Sociopath has dropped all the way down to P15. So that's not what he needs for his championship bid. He's now back up to P14. Sahib up to P13 with everybody ahead of him now. Just swap into position, so we could be on for a decent score of points. As the leaders are getting very, very friendly again. As Cameron is actually looking at sending it round the outside of turn 1. E-Kind makes the move into turn 2 and actually pulls out over almost half a second in the run down to turn 4. As Andy's now caught back up. And so it's Scotty on the back of Robin. So as it stands, Cameron will be winning the title if he can just keep hold of the position he's got, and Sociopath cannot make up any more places. As Cameron does set the fastest lap of the race, as Scotty makes a move on Robin, just about gets it stopped, but Robin gets the switch back. See how tight these two are going to be through turn 4. Move done. As we move back down the field to find another little squabble. So this is Jehu and Jade Grim. Closes up under braking, but then gets a bad run through the middle part of the corner. As that's a heat that just comes steaming through without any sort of notice of who was coming next. That's also in Chris getting very friendly, so let's see where they end up coming out of this. That's a McLaren of Sociopath all over the back of Chris. Is Chris got to give him the room he needs? Does seem to just let him go to race his own race. Sinix has just retired from the session in the pit lane, so at least we did it there. Jehu's currently out in 14, 19 seconds off the pace. As Cameron Poulter's just bolted out at the front by 3.7 seconds almost. Scotty and Andy Boy changing positions. So 22 laps in, and it looks like we are going to be getting a new tier 1 champion. Andy Boy's just been tagged by a spinning Robin as everybody else has just filed through. That's so unfortunate for him. So that is Social Path back up into the top 10. Sorry about that, guys, my headset died for a moment. I just had to grab the charger and just get it back in. I thought it was charging earlier, but I guess it just didn't charge. Social Path is now back up into 9th after making that move on Robin's stick into turn 1 and 2. So yeah, anything can happen at this moment as League of Iron Colin is now down to 3. Yeah, if Cameron stays P1, Social needs P7, unless Cameron takes the fastest lap, which will mean that it goes down to a tiebreaker, if my maths actually serve me correctly. So, 2/3 in, and we are looking at a potential tiebreak. For Social Path needing to pull out a Hamilton in 2008 right now, just secure P7. But he's also got Robin all over his gearbox and J Trim just ahead of him. So anything can happen at this point. As Andy's just passed Osso, for Osso. But Osso is not giving that up, is he? Just keeps going and going and going. So Social will take out most race wins. Okay, that I wasn't sure who'd won most races out of the pair of them. Hopefully that we will go deep into this race before the points difference actually becomes noticeable. So 26 laps in. And Social needs to make up 2 positions, which is easier said than done around Brazil. Especially when you've got guys like Robin behind and J Trim ahead. So has actually managed to make this alternate strat work. He's actually still on the back of this midfield 4. Currently in P7, but can see all the way up to P4 or 3. And he's at the back of this DRS train, so as long as he can stay in and around the middle of it in the next few laps and just wait for it to break up a little bit, he should be okay. Also going for soft, do you think? Yep, so he does make that move stick. As long as he's dragging out these hards. Yeah, he's been on him for quite some time. I'm not quite sure if he realised that he could have pitted at any given stage between lap 1 and now. I think he's just trying to see on how far they will go in case there's an early safety car on Sunday. As Bolts is kind of in the middle, well, no man's land between his teammate and Shahid. We've just picked over onto 100 comments, so well done guys. Thank you for keeping me occupied throughout following the race. It's not really warm up for me if I'm just sat here. Not really doing much, but I get your point, Stingray. Yeah, taking notes. Maybe a little. I wish I did that, but I don't. I'm normally just too busy focusing on the action and trying to not mess everything up. As Bolts has just made a mistake and it's let Sahib through. So Sahib is now up into P5 after being P20 just 10 laps, well 13 laps ago. So solid performance by him, managing to get those mediums switched on and working for him. With 7 laps to go as they cross the line. This is going to be an interesting one for him. Can he manage to make those mediums stay alive long enough? As Bolts gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit infringement. So yeah, also he's just putting the softs. Yeah, the mediums will start to drop away very shortly unless they underfueled the car to begin with. But even that, saying that, if the mediums do start to drop away, Scotty's got almost a 6-second gap to make up on Cameron in as many laps. So it's got to be a little bit of an awkward one, as Social also does pick up a 3-second time penalty on his first lap on the soft. So well done also. Sorry about that. Just I had to go to my front door. I was just right on board with folks making a move on Sahib, but Sahib manages to get away with it. Social is still down on 2.9 with 4 laps to go. Not really making any inroads into the cars ahead. 1.4 behind JJ Trim, so kind of a little ways off. So at this very moment in time, Cameron Polo will be champion. Let's see who is actually the closest on track as we speak. Is that Andy Boy and Jay Who? Only got a handful of laps left at most. 3 laps left as Cameron Poulter has already taken the line. So Eagle Island Colin is already up and is still in the podium position. And Scotty off in P2. Let's see who the biggest winners are throughout this race. So the biggest winner in positions will be Scotty. Oh no, sorry. But Sahib up 14 places. Just a couple more laps left. Not a great deal. We do have a car spinning in the final corner. Is that Otto? Nope. Oh, that's Bolts who's just dropped it. So that puts Social back up into P7, which is exactly where he needs to be to take the championship. Can Robin have a deciding factor in this championship battle towards the end of the race? It's going to take a lot for him to get past, but let's see what ERS Social is on. Social is out of ERS, but Robin still has some. So it's going to be an interesting battle. Will Social get caught up somewhere? Will he have a little bit of a spin? Social is already a 2-time champion across 2 different tiers, so he knows what it takes, and he has the mental capacity to not suffer with any sort of mental stress going into the final couple of laps, the pressure getting to him. But what's he got when it comes to weathering the storm of Robin? Is Robin actually able to get close enough over the next couple of laps? So penultimate lap we are on. Only about 20 corners left. Oh, Robin spun. So the challenge that was coming from behind Robin has now spun. So Social is now pretty much free and clear in that P7 position. So I would say he's going to be confirmed champion, bar any mistake on his behalf in the final lap of the race. So we're right on board with Cameron as he comes across the line. He's done everything that he needed to do. Not really much else he could do. He's led from start to finish, pretty much. Just kept his head down and not focused on what Social is doing. But Social has somehow managed to keep ahead of the pack and finish exactly where he needed to be. He's not done much else, much more, and nothing less. So Scotty up 5 positions, solid performance from him in the already crowned Constructors Champions of the Williams. League of Ireland Colin, that should be in the Haas, but is in the McLaren. Bruges in 4th. Sahib up a staggering 14 places to finish P5. Jade Trim and Social. So congrats to Social for winning his 3rd title. Robin in 8th, Jay down in 9th, Andy Boy in 11th due to Big Boy tipping him on penalties, also 12th, Chris. Fastest lap. Actually, this could go down to... I think I may have just crowned the wrong champion. Chloe's just told me that Cameron has more race wins than Social. So, and if he took the fastest lap too, that will put them on level on points. So that means that Cameron would be the tier 1 champion. So let's see who actually took the fastest lap, shall we? One minute, gents. Let's see who got the fastest lap. Big Boy in P10. So it is Social. So congratulations, Social Path, for winning your 3rd title. And just to do a quick run through the results. Cameron Porter in P1, Scotty in P2, League of Ireland Colin in 3rd, Bruges in P4, Sahib on his debut in P5, so that's a great performance. Jay Trim and Social Path in P6 and 7, Robin 8th, Jehu in 9th, Big Boy in 10th, Andy Boy in 11th, also 12th, Chris 13th, Bolts 14th, Cynics, Harry, LFR Racing, Duster, Albie, all retiring out of the race. Unfortunate to them, but everybody else, well done, and thank you for another great season here at CDR. We will be back in a couple of weeks for season 6, but until then, good night.